speaking, because that's what you know Toastmasters all about. But another part of Toastmasters is once you come here, you realize that there's one more track of leadership, and you get to play so many roles, either with title or without, but that helps in developing your leadership skills as well. This was all about Toastmasters in short. Today's meeting will be having 3 sections today. The first section of today's meeting would all be about prepared speeches. We have our friends who are prepared with their speeches according to the objectives that were given to them. They are going to present their speech in front of us. It's going to be timed. We have a timer role as well in this. The second section of the meeting is another interesting one, where an education session would be unfolded in front of you from none other than an experienced evaluator. And I don't want to tell more about his achievements. I leave it to T.A. Modi, but he's someone who's done it all in the evaluation part of Toastmasters. Distinguished Toastmaster Akshay Kaure would be giving us a session on evaluation. And the third section today is the evaluation of the prepared speeches which we would have heard in the first section. I wish all the role takers the very best today, and I take this opportunity now to call upon the first role taker to grab this virtual stage. This is the person who's going to be the host and the Toastmaster of the day today. She is someone who is a people's person. She loves to hang out, and I feel so bad for you, Toastmaster of the day, that you love hanging out, and right now we all are in lockdown. But hold your horses, we'll get to it soon. She also loves modeling. That's her second hobby, she says. She loves to cook, and in her free time, she loves to pep up her mood by dancing. Put your hands together to our Toastmaster of the day, Shruti K. The virtual stage is all yours, Shruti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apurva, for the wonderful introduction. So today our theme is about distraction. What is distraction? The lack of ability to pay attention, and attention is a very limited resource. We all know that. I agree with that. If you all do agree, then please put a thumbs up. We are distracted. We are the most distracted society that has ever existed. In fact, we are distracted every 3 minutes a day. We touch, tap our phones 3,000 times a day. Can you believe it? Oh my God, that's too much. Yet we crave for more time. So we have our software systems that help us keep in time, on track, and be more productive. We are growing up with Facebook and Instagram world. We know that engagement with social media releases a chemical called dopamine. That's why whenever we get text from any special person, we all are like this excited, oh, we feel good. So when you feel good, you want it more, and that turns out to be an addiction. And our addictions to notification, it is killing us slowly. They tend to release more stress hormones in our body, which our body cannot break faster through it. I'm not telling that social media is bad or harmful or destructive, but too much usage of something is too bad. Like alcohol is good, but too much of alcohol is too bad. Gambling is fun, but too much of gambling is an addiction. So we got to balance accordingly. So I'll end this here. I'll right now end this here and move on to our meeting. This meeting consists of 3 sessions: prepared speeches, table topic, and evaluation session. But today we have a special session, that is educational session on evaluation by our distinguished Toastmaster Akshay. To kickstart today's meeting, I would like to call up the general evaluator Nishant to introduce his role and his tag team roles. Our general evaluator today is a tech enthusiast. Tinkering with gadgets and hardware is his favorite. He's obsessed with being productive, but saved by distractions. Very good with that. Over to you, General Evaluator Nishant.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Shruti, for the wonderful introduction. So my role today is pretty simple. I just have to sit back, relax, and listen and watch all the happenings of the meeting today. It's so simple that I need an additional team with me to accomplish the task. And that is comprised of a tag team, timer, R counter, and a grammarian. So the whole task of this team is to look at the whole meeting, pinpoint some great points of the meeting and reinforce it. So for every session or any activity to be productive or to be impactful, there should be a feedback. And for that impact to be exponential, we need a constructive feedback. So our role is to do exactly that. And along with picking up some good points, we are also going to suggest some improvements to this task that we concluded today. So without any further ado, let me introduce to my tag team today. So first we have the timer of the day. She's someone who loves K-pop and listens to it all day. And she has started coding recently, and I hear that she's pretty good at it. And she also aspires to be a machine learning engineer pretty soon. So let's hear it from Aprajita, the timer for the day.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So as we all know, that time is really important, and each of the tasks we do every day needs to be timed properly. So today I'll be timing your speeches and your sessions, and the rules for the timing are as follows. So for the prepared speeches section, at 4 minutes, the time is 4 to 6 minutes for the prepared speeches. So at 4 minutes, I'll be showing you a green card. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing a yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I'll be showing you a red card. When I show you the red card, you need to wrap up the speech and end it over there. For the evaluators, the evaluation time is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing a green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, a yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll be showing a red card. By the time I show you the red card, you need to wrap up your speeches. So I wish everybody all the best, and
Thank you for that wonderful explanation, Aprajita. So next we have the R counter. So he is someone who is intrigued by physics, ancient history, philosophy, and puzzles. This surely seems like a character out of Dan Brown's book, but let's see. And he is someone who is a go-to person to know about series, science fiction movies, or comics. So we have with us Ehtesham Ahmed, the timer for the day. The virtual stage is yours, Ehtesham.
Good evening, everyone. Nishant, I would like to correct you. I'm not the timer, but the accounter of the day. And good evening, everyone, for joining today's TM meeting. I am Mohammad Ehtesham Ahmed, and I will be your accounter for the event. As an accounter, my job will be to keep tabs on everyone who is speaking today. And in the process, I'll isolate them for CRPF. I'll explain what CRPF in a minute. While presenting something, we subconsciously develops a habit that might reduce the effectiveness of our delivery. The CRPF categorizes them as C, as in the crunch words, which involves sounds like the sounds like those are called the crunch words, and R as in the repetitive words, which can be omitted out without taking the overall objective of the presentation. P as the unnatural pauses which we tend to make, and that might lead to audience losing the interest. And finally, the F as in the filler words, such as, these kind of words are called as filler words. So these words project an unsure nature of the speaker and hence act as a hurdles in presenting a topic effectively. But don't worry, these CRPFs can be improved by using some techniques. The first of which is being conscious of what we are saying. As in, I committed that filler words using the as in. So if we consciously look at what we are speaking, then we can reduce those words which can be reducing the interest of the audience. Along with it, we can also improve them by using the self-evaluation before practicing and before the actual presentation. Along with it, we can also pause in between, taking short pauses so that the audience don't feel like they've been taught by an unsure person. At the end of the day, I will be presenting the report on the same for each speaker, and I hope we will end up this meeting by learning a much more positive and effective way of presenting. Thanks, Nishant. The stage is yours now.
Yeah, thank you, Atisha. So finally, we have the last member of the tag team, that is a grammarian. She's an avid reader of horror books and science fiction. She also reads manga, and she's a serial knitter. And she states herself as she would be a millionaire if someone were to pay you for binge watching. Let me welcome a bundle of talent, Michelle, the grammarian for the day. Over to you, Michelle.
Thank you, G. Nishant. Good evening, everyone. As the grammarian for this meeting, I will be listening carefully for good usage of English grammar and vocabulary. But before that, I'd like to introduce the word of the day, which aims to enhance your word stock so it helps you to prepare your speech better. The word of the day for this meeting is odious, meaning something extremely unpleasant or terrible. An example would be, it was odious of you to litter on the street. You are encouraged to use the word of the day as frequently as you can, since it will be taken into account accordingly. I will be back at the end of the meeting with my report, along with some constructive feedback, so as to help improve your speaking and language use. Until then, let's all be unodious in our language use today. Back to you, G. Nishant.
Thank you so much, Michelle. So I'd like to add another point to the grammarian role. So whenever you see someone using the word throughout his speech or her speech during the session, everyone is encouraged to give a thumbs up on their video or through the reactions on the Zoom app. So we'll be back, me and my team will be back at the end of the session with the constructive feedback to you all. So back to you, Shruti.
So moving on to today's first session, prepared speeches. Now I'd like to call upon our first evaluator, Tarun, to give us the speech guideline for the first speaker. Over to you, Tarun. Tarun?
Thank you, Shruti, for giving. I'm Tarun Jain. Thank you, Shruti, for giving such a beautiful introduction. As an evaluator, I will be checking the one second. As an evaluator, I'll be checking the content. I'll be evaluating the speech according to the grammar, content of the speech, and based on the how the one second. Yeah, so the guidelines for the speech are, the speech must be from 4 to 6 minutes. Hello, am I audible? Yeah, so the speech should be from 4 to 6 minutes. The
Thank you, evaluator Tarun. Now we'll be moving on to our first speaker. She loves cooking, eating, and exploring new things, still creating Evangeline still creating. Over to you.
People often say that this or that person has not yet found himself. But the self is not something one finds, it's something one creates. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. Here I am to give my first icebreaker speech. Let me introduce myself by my name. My name is Evangeline, given by my parents, my mother Shobha and father Ishwan. I think it's a beautiful name with a beautiful meaning, which means God's messenger, good news. It is originated in Greek language. I live in a city called Bidar. Bidar is a hilltop city in northeastern part of Karnataka. Bidar is famous for its Pitri handicraft products and its rich history. It has 57 visiting places. I have completed my schooling and my college in Bidar. I have decided let me divide my experience of life into 3 colors. First color is purple, which is my favorite color, and so it is my best phase of my life, which includes my childhood and my school life. Second color is monochrome gray color, which is all about how I lost my social life, which includes my college life, that is my 11th, 12th, and my first sem of engineering. Third color is white color, where I can create anything and make it into a beautiful color, which includes the present me still creating, which is also my title. Let me first begin with first color. As a child, I was so naughty, loved by my parents, and I used to love communicating people around me and make friends. I was never a shy girl. Because of this, I used to have a lot of friends in my school. In my school, more than studies, I kept my interest in having fun with my friends and enjoying my school life, and kept my interest in extracurricular activities and taking part in competitions like sports, dance, singing competition, craft making competition, trip competition, and many more. This way, I passed out my 10th standard. I entered into my college life taking up science, where I was so fascinated to experience new things and, and experience new things and enjoy my college life. But it did not happen so, because my college timing was from morning 8 to evening 8, where I lost my interest in communicating with people, and in the same way I lost my social life. At that point, I became shy, and that turned into a shyness. At the same point, I became serious towards my studies, scored good marks, and I decided to take up electrical engineering course, which was definitely my choice. After carrying the shy feeling in me, I entered my new college, that is MPGCA, and my first hostel. I never lived far away from my parents. It took a lot of time for me to get adjusted into a new environment. Sometimes I felt odious, felt alone, lost my confidence. But after completing my first semester, when I entered my second semester, I got a bit adjusted into the environment of my hostel and college. And I was enjoying my college life with my roommates who became my friends by watching movies together, having chips, and going out together, where I was still experiencing new things. I got a break into my hostel life, that's locked on, where I explored my inner chef, trying out more than 25 recipes. In the same way, the love of food made me to attend first Toastmaster meeting. After attending more than 2 meetings, I felt Toastmaster will help me to improve myself in communication, get back my confidence, overcome my shyness, and create myself. That made me to join Toastmaster Club. Lastly, I would like to say, I'm still creating, experiencing new things, getting ready to fill my life with beautiful colors. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a wonderful speech. Now I'd like to call upon our second evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Akshay, to give us a speech guideline for the second speaker. Over to you,
Okay, hi,
Toastmaster.
good evening. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. So I'm not entirely sure what the guidelines are, but judging by the fact, judging by the title, actually, I would say it's an L1P1, which is level 1 project 1, which is an icebreaker. So the objectives of an icebreaker are, correct me if I'm wrong, about the objectives. So they're basically to introduce yourself to the club and to ensure that your speech has a proper opening body and conclusion. Timer, please note, time is 4 to 6 minutes. All the best to speaker. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Now moving on to our second speaker, she loves beaches and sky. Music is something that lifts her mood up. A smile makes her day much better. My short tail, Divya, Divya, my short tail. Over to you, Divya.
Thank you, Shruti, for the introduction. Life is a challenge, and the ways to challenge is to stay calm and ask yourself, what is the next right move? This quote gives me hope and positive vibes to move forward in life. 20 years back, there was a little girl who entered into the beautiful world of the two loving parents, and that little girl is present before you all, delivering the speech. Let me take this opportunity to introduce myself to everyone here. I am Divya, elder one for my parents. I was born in this month of chillness, January, in the city Anantapur, known for its spicy bhaji. My partners in crime are my sister and brother. Being the first child, I had an amazing childhood with lots of love and care. I traveled many states during my earlier life. We stayed in Kopuli, then moved to Pune, then shifted to Odisha for a few months. Lo and behold, I later shifted to the state of beaches, Goa. Yes, you heard it right. Most of us would have planned it once in our college time to go on a trip with friends and might have cancelled it due to various reasons. I had gone to primary school in Goa and won many of my first prizes in storytelling and rhyme reciting competitions. I enjoyed all the time I stayed in Goa. It again, after all this traveling, finally landed up in one of the metropolitan cities, Bangalore. It's been more than 15 years and counting. We have settled here. I completed my schooling from 1st to 10th in Vagdevi Vilas School, Martali. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. I used to be a reserved person with limited friends. I never used to speak much other than my friends. When I was in ninth grade, during one of the parents' meeting, my mom had once complained to my teacher that I don't speak much. My mom and teacher spoke for about 10 minutes on the same topic. I was stood stunned and that hit me. But this hit me in a positive way. The very next year, in 10th grade, there was a huge change in my life. I was given the whole responsibility of my class, and surprisingly, I finished it. This was really special year of my schooling. It brought out my leadership skills, courage to take new challenges. I became more independent, responsible, opened up, and made a lot of new friends. It helped me discover a new version of myself. Now I can do anything without fear, ready to face anything which comes my way. I was pretty sure that I won't pursue medicine after 12th. I had taken electronics back in 11th only. In a short span of time, I made friends who turned to be my best friends till now. I finished my 12th grade in MVJPU. Later, through CET, I joined MVJCE. I took electronics communication course. The college environment was new, but yeah, my friends were new. They were all from different states. It took time for me to adjust, but then now I have a set of friends whom I can mingle around. Right now, I'm in my final year. At this time, if I turn back into life, I've had all good memories. There were some ups and downs, but I have taken only the positive part and learned from my mistakes. My parents and my friends have always left any stone unturned to make me feel happy. They've always encouraged me. I'm thankful to the Almighty for giving all that I have now. I'm here because of my friends, parents, and all my well wishers. I aspire to become a successful engineer and do something different from a normal. I had known Toastmasters through my friend. I always wanted to be a part of this club. And yeah, I got a chance this year that there was a Toastmaster club being chartered in our college. I'm trying my best to improve my communication skills and confidence through this platform. Thank you all. I end my speech here.
Thank you, Divya. That was a wonderful speech. There will be a voting session right now for the best speaker. So the link will be in the chat box. So please do cast your vote now. Thank you. There'll be 1 minute for it. Please do it.
Hello, yes, I've sent the link in the group chat and I request everyone to go and vote for your best speaker, and I'll be telling the results at the end of the session. Cool. The link will be open for a few minutes, so please go and vote. Thanks. Also, you don't have to be a part of Toastmasters to vote. Anyone can vote, so please go on.
The results of this voting session of the best speaker and other tag team members all will be out at the end of the meeting. So let's talk about distraction. We all know that distraction kills our workplace productivity. Smartphone, texting, internet, social media, and emails are among the 10 biggest productivity killers. We all agree that technology boosts up our productivity in some way, but it hurts in another way. So I would like anyone from the audience to talk about their distraction, which distracts them the most. So anyone from the audience? Anyone from the audience who would like to speak about this?
Hi, Apurva. I think the notifications distract me.
Good
Any
one.
sort of
Same here.
notifications on the phone.
Anyone else?
Me too.
Though,
Even I get distracted.
What's your distraction? What distracts you? Like
The
any specific
notification,
thing?
the notifications.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I can't leave any message unread.
Oh, okay.
Hey, hi, it's Prateek. So, just like Apurva and Divya, even notifications used to distract me, but now I have disabled most of them. I mean, the application for which I have the applications, but I have disabled the notification for most of them. Right now, I spend most of my time on Twitter.
I remember
yeah.
one more thing. If you see the news on the internet, whatever the headlines are, usually if it is trying to purposely catch your attention, if you actually read the whole article, the headlines and the whole article probably would not have any connection. It was just to draw your attention so that somehow you go and click on the link. I've been in that trap a lot of times.
That happens to most of the Instagram posts also. They put up something and then you swipe right, and then that's then a whole other thing. But that's nice. Yeah, anyone else would like to speak about it?
Yeah, Nishant here. So since the lockdown, I'm back at home, and the most distracting thing would be my mom cooking downstairs and the smell coming upstairs to my room. And it's the most distracting thing, I would say.
Okay. Good one. Anyone else?
Yeah, can I go? Yeah. So
Yes.
one thing that I find most distracting, especially in this COVID-19 situation, is YouTube. No matter whether it be playing with friends or studying or attending classes, YouTube is one thing that can distract you from anything. It can distract you from something productive, or it can even distract you when you're playing something else. Believe it or not, yesterday night I sat up at 12:30 watching a video on how to shave a dog. I had no idea how it came up in my recommendations, and after watching that video, I watched 7 other videos of it. After half an hour, I was at sheets. I didn't know what to do, and I just closed the phone. Yeah, so yeah, YouTube is something that no matter what you're doing, it finds an attention to you. Like, it catches your attention, and once you're in the loop, it's very, very tough to get out. You just start binge watching videos and videos.
Totally, I agree to that. My addiction was scrolling of hours and hours through Instagram and not even like coming out of it. Like that was my worst addiction. So anyone else would like to speak about the same topic?
Yeah, Shruti, building on what Krishna said, imagination is what I feel most distractive in nature. As in, it starts from something that's productive in nature, but you end up imagining something else that's totally irrelevant to where we started off.
Yes, true. So true. Yes, I agree to that. Anyone else from the audience?
Can I?
Yes, sure.
I get distracted when I'm reading sincerely and my sister comes on this mobile showing her favorite movie, seeing her favorite movie.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah. So so my room is being occupied by my brother. So I'm basically being kicked out of my room right now. So I have to sit in the living room and study and do my work. So when I'm in the middle of doing something, like I'll be studying or working, so my dog comes and she starts jumping on me and I get distracted by that. And after she comes and she jumps, I'll be busy with her for like 10-20 minutes and I don't even know how time passes that way. So yeah, she's a distraction for me, kind of.
Good, good. Anyone else?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. I just want to add a point on what Nishant said. He became an odious character from a charming character in just a second when he talked about food. And that too homemade food. So well done, Nishant. Very good. Keep it up.
Anyone else? So yeah, to overcome these distractions, especially like using hours and hours of phone, so you could actually use some apps which could help us all to stay focused on what we are doing. So I would recommend some apps. The first thing is App of Timer, App Detox, FlipD. So I always use App Detox. It has a special feature where you set rules for some app and it shows you how many times you've broken the rules. And also when you click on the app which you're addicted, it shows that you have so many other works to do. Just go do them. Why you have to like spend time on this? So yeah, it is very important to get away with distraction, because as humans, we crave to be very successful and be happy in order to achieve that goal. It is very important to get away with distraction. The more you're distracted, the more there are less possibilities to achieve your goal. And the after effect of distraction is definitely regret, which is something we all never want to encourage that about. So I would like to end this here and move on to our second session of the meeting. Now we have our distinguished Toastmaster Akshay to give us a special speech about education session on evaluation. Speech content are a Toastmasters tradition. They begin at club level, and then the winner continues competing through the area, division, and districtive level. And there are different levels of it. So first one is the club level, area level, division level, district semi-final, district final, and an international level. Toastmaster Akshay has reached district semi-finals, which is a huge achievement in evaluation. Contests which is conducted by Toastmasters, and distinguished Toastmaster Akshay is a member of SAP, Speak to Lead Toastmasters Club, Area E4 Director, a bid reader, and a speaker. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you so much, Shruti. Before I begin, okay, host has disabled screen sharing. Can the host please enable screen sharing? Nishant? Timer, please don't start. Okay, awesome. All right, give me just a moment to present it. Okay, let me know once you can see it or see something. I need verbal confirmation because I can't see the screen. Or okay, I've got one thumbs up.
Yes, good to.
Okay, cool. We can begin. Good evening, budding Toastmasters and current guests who I hope with this session will turn into budding or future Toastmasters. My name is DTM Akshay Kaure. I am Area E4 Director, and I will be sharing my findings and my learnings about the topic of evaluation. Now, this is not going to be related to Toastmasters evaluation per se, or even the contest perspective, but this is going to be something very, very generic about what are evaluations and why do we need evaluations. So that's the whole idea. And yeah, like she said, I'm from SAP Speak to Lead Toastmasters Club. Just give me a minute. I will put this very distracting device on silent mode. Thank you. Okay. So let's begin. So what is evaluation? Yes. Now I've been looking through a lot of papers recently, and I found a few quotes or a few lines which I've cited here. So evaluation is the process of determining merit, worth, or significance. Please note the words: determining merit, worth, or significance. And evaluation is a product of that process. It was written in a paper which was in 1991 by Scriven. And we'll go to the next one. Okay, this is a bit big, so I'll just take out the main keywords. So an educator, who in this case is an evaluator's success, is to be judged by what others learn, rather than a referee, like in a basketball game, who is hired to decide what is right and what is wrong. So please note, once again, an evaluator's success is to be judged by what others learn, rather than being a referee or an umpire. And mostly whenever I read about it, I read that the underlying assumption of an evaluation is analysis, the big if you draw a Venn diagram, the biggest circle or the biggest square will be of analysis. So evaluation is an analytical process that is intrinsic to good teaching, which was in a 2003 paper by Ramsden. So if we were to derive a mathematical formula out of whatever we have read and whatever we have seen, what would we see? Evaluation is first variable A, which is finding merits of, or it's a product of a process. That's what we learned, right? Finding merits in any person, in any process, in any product. And what is evaluation? Is it's a product of a process. You add that to the next definition, which is focused on what others learn. It's not about you telling them stuff. It's about what they are learning. Are they learning in the first place? So variable A plus variable B, and the underlying basis of all that, how do you do what you do, right? Evaluation, analysis, my bad. So underlying basis fundamental is analysis. So evaluation equals finding merits of and it's a product of a process plus focused on what others learn more than what you have to tell them on the basis of analysis is equal to evaluation. I hope we are clear with the mathematical formula. I thought it's an engineering college, so probably maths will help. So how do we do evaluations? First thing, of course, observation. When you're seeing a speaker speak on stage, you have to be clear. You have to listen to them, you have to see them, you have to understand them, and you have to write down whatever you think are relevant points for that speaker. Maybe it's a good point, maybe it's a point for improvement, maybe it's of both. So you have to collect data essentially. That's how we do analysis, right? Data collection. Second point is analysis, which is the main fundamental body of the whole evaluation. So you have to, as a speaker, as an evaluator, you have to understand the function or the purpose of a speaker or a speaker's speech. What are they saying? How are they saying it? More importantly, or the most important characteristic, why are they saying what they're saying? Okay, for example, some speaker has come on the stage, is delivering a beautiful speech, and he's just rushing from one end to the other on the stage. Now, okay, that's a point. Yes, you can probably say, okay, you were moving on the stage a lot. It was distracting. But did you try to understand why was he moving? Maybe the speech required that energy, and maybe it was to pump up the audience, something like that. I've seen a lot of MCs do that. For example, when we have our annual day and functions at office, there is this MC that they call, and the MC is all pumped on, he's moving around the stage like crazy. So maybe that's the purpose. So finding out the function, the purpose of the speech, and finding out parts of something. Like for example, the opening was something, the body was something, the closing was something, maybe it wasn't there. Okay, I think the screen sharing is gone because I suddenly see myself again. Is that what you see as well?
Yes, Mark.
Okay.
Yes, Toastmaster.
Yes, okay. So finding out parts of something. Next point, we have to collate our findings. Now we've collected data, we've understood the speech, the speaker. Now we have to collate our findings. We have to get our findings together. So how do we present it to the speaker, right? First thing, be honest. Nobody likes sugarcoating. Nobody really likes, false information. Maybe you think what you have to say is very harsh and you don't want to say it, so you say something completely different, which is not really true. So don't do that. Be very honest. Evaluate the performance and not the personality. A lot of times, even in office, when we have our year-end evaluations, if there are any HRs in the audience, they would probably kill me after this. But like I said, be honest. A lot of times when we have our year-end evaluations in offices, they don't really evaluate what you have done. They evaluate you because they don't like you. Happens. Or maybe they like you a lot, so they give you a big higher rating. Might happen in college as well when you're doing your externals. In my college, the externals used to be done by internal people. So if you have a good rapport with the professor, they might give you a higher rating. So don't, whatever you have at that be very, very specific. Like I always tell people to take this approach. Maybe you didn't like something in the speech, right? For example, you could have used your voice better. That's a generic statement. People will always tell you, you could have used elements. Where did you find that I need to use my voice better? Was it at this particular point my voice should have gone higher or lower, or maybe my pace could have been faster or slower? Where is it? Because that will help me. I don't know when you say use your voice better, where exactly to do that, right? So be very specific, give examples whenever possible. Now, how can Toastmasters help when it comes to evaluations? I've given you examples about corporate life, I've given you examples about college, I've given you examples about public speaking. So where can Toastmasters help? Now, the definition of evaluation in Toastmasters handbook is has this particular phrase. The actual definition is pretty big. I've just taken a part of it. So to provide honest reaction in a constructive manner to the person's efforts. Didn't we just see something like this here? Findings, analysis, both of these points are covered in this one snippet of a definition. Provide honest reaction in a constructive manner to the person's efforts, which means you have to focus on how you say it. For example, you cannot, I'm saying this because it's an absolute truth. You cannot say cannot, right? When you present an evaluation, maybe the speaker has given a crappy speech, right? But there is also something that you want to do, which is bring them back to give another speech, because if you burn them right there, they will never come back, they will never improve. So it's very important to focus on how we say it. We must never make judgmental statements. You know what, you are from this city, I expected the speech to be like this. This is a very judgmental statement. So never say that. Secondly, delivery is something that is paramount in Toastmasters. We have to be very, very appreciative. We have to be very constructive. We have to make sure that the speaker wants to listen to you, and more importantly, wants to listen, implement whatever you're saying. So the delivery has to be spot on. I'm not saying that you have to be a yes man, or you have to be you have to sugarcoat things to an extent where what is the actual crux of your message is lost. No, but you have to balance it out. Now, conclusion is something very, very important. I've seen this even in office evaluations, where they'll call you for a meeting and the meeting goes on for an hour, and they're like, you did this wrong, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. The first 2 points are always the good points. After that, it's always very bad. And then they don't conclude it saying, okay, now that we've said all this, these are the good things that you do, continue doing them. These are some things you can improve. Let's work on them. And that's how we will, that's how you are supposed to end an evaluation. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. The conclusion is something that is always missing. I'm not sure if it happens in college as well, but pretty sure, because when I was in college, it used to happen a lot. So when you come out of the meeting, you feel very sad, you feel very depressed, because they've given you 10 points of improvement, not in a very constructive manner. So the conclusion has to include the good points and the summation, the points of improvement. And that's how you leave them with something that is very positive, that they feel that they have scope for improvement. And something that I always follow is I follow up with the speakers. Maybe we say 2 weeks later or a month later, when they've given a couple of speeches, I always go and talk to them that, hey, you know what, I had told you this in that meeting as feedback. Did you really get a chance to implement it? If not, how can I help? Maybe you can practice your speech in front of me. I'll see if you have actually improved in that aspect or not. And that helps you build that camaraderie, and that helps you sort of make the improvement a continuous process. It's not just one evaluation done, bye bye tata. No, when you do this, you are investing in the speaker's improvement, and that helps the speaker actually improve better than otherwise. So why do we need evaluations? Very, 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 very important. So as you become Toastmasters member, as you attend more meetings, you will hear this very cliched line: feedback or evaluations is the breakfast of champions, right? Every general evaluator say it. Why? But two in essentials, right? Why do we need evaluation? Because evaluation provides clarity. You don't know what you're doing unless somebody tells you that this is good or this is bad. And hence we have movie reviewers who are paid in millions. We have restaurant reviewers. We have, reviewers for pretty much everything nowadays. So why do we pay people? Because we need to understand if whatever we are doing is on the right track, if it is working, if people like it, if there is something we can improve, then we need to know that. So it provides clarity, number one. Secondly, again, I covered it in the previous bit. It'll tell you how well you're doing. When we go for, at least when I go for a movie, I always check out the Rotten Tomatoes and the IMDb rating. Why do I do that? Because I don't want to waste my money. More importantly, I don't want to waste my time. So I need to know if the movie is good enough to go. So that rating will tell me, that evaluation that somebody has done will tell me if the movie is worth going. And it will also help the producers and the directors evaluate their own work. Thirdly, something that I mentioned previously, that it encourages continuous improvement. Evaluation, when somebody gives you a good evaluation, you feel like you want to improve, you want to come back. And that's how the continuous improvement process goes along. It encourages honest conversations. It's very important to have an honest heart-to-heart conversation with someone when they are telling you stuff that you need to know about yourself. Maybe you don't know that yet. Maybe somebody else has noticed it. Maybe they tell you that, you know what, hey, you're very good at giving humorous speeches. I think that's your strength. Maybe you're very good at giving motivational speeches. I think that's something you should look at. And that will give you an idea of where exactly you want to, which direction do you want to go in. Fifth, I love this point, it develops empathy. We always are human beings by default, by nature, are very judgmental people. And when you do evaluations more and more, you start empathizing with everything. Maybe some speaker has come in full gusto and they've forgotten half of their speech. And they're just standing there clueless, embarrassed as all hell. But when you do evaluations more, you'll start empathizing with them. You'll be like, no, boss, give it another try. Maybe you just stand there a couple of minutes, collect your thoughts, and then you can begin from where you left off. So that develops a lot of empathy in people. And in today's world, we need empathy because we are living in very, very dangerous times. We are living in very unpredictable times, and having empathy around the people you trust will really help. Learn to listen more attentively, refine your critical abilities, and give feedback tactfully. So when you're evaluating someone, you're completely focused on the speaker. You will gain the ability over practice, over time, to refine your critical thinking. And you can give feedback very, very tactfully, which is essentially what it said, right? Constructive feedback. So that is something that I feel, and probably Apurva agrees with me. We really need that kind of an attitude in office, because sometimes in office things get very violent. Just kidding, not violent, but they get very rude, and we need to have this ability to tactfully give evaluations, feedback. Okay, so I've said a lot about evaluations. You can ask Apurva, she'll also say a lot about evaluations, but why should you believe us, right? I mean, we're just Toastmasters selling Toastmasters product. Let's see what the market actually has to say about evaluations. And I'm not kidding, you can copy these statements down and you can Google them, you'll find them. So Faith Parker from Marbulu Marketing has said, the desire and effort to become better is most rewardable quality in my eyes. And that is what evaluation gives you. The effort that you put in and the desire to become better. Kevin Hendrickson from Accomplice is an employee with good customer feedback. Even one who's not making sales can improve. So you might be a champion speaker, right? You have won contests, but even then you can improve. There are world champions of public speaking who still, if you look at their speeches, you'll still find an element here and there that they could have done better, in your opinion, right? And Firas Kitane from Astrobet says, my ideal worker would take feedback and really think critically. And that's very, very important, because when somebody tells you that you're not good at this, we usually feel very bad that, oh. But if you are someone who has done evaluations, who has taken evaluations, and your critical thinking has really improved, then you'll feel sad for that moment, but you'll think, okay, what do you think I should do to make it better? And that's the attitude that we need to cultivate, the attitude of learning, the attitude of growth. And that's how we will grow as a person. So that's basically what the market has said. So then what next? My suggestion, I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to ask you. My suggestion, like plain simple suggestion, contact the VP membership, contact your would-be president, would-be VP education, talk to them, become a member, give Toastmasters an honest shot, give evaluations an honest shot, wait for 6 months, 1 year, and see what happens. If you see a difference, it means it's working. And why should you all invest in learning? I'm sure that I'm not sure if there are parents in the call, but if there are, why should you invest in learning? Because right now we're living in a situation where we don't know what might happen, and we don't know how long this will go on. So we still have a lot of time on our hands, and instead of binging on Netflix and Hotstar and Amazon Prime, give Toastmasters a shot, because that's what leaders do. Because Toastmasters is where leaders are made. With this, thank you so much for all of your time. And if there are any questions, I can take them now. I just realized my hair. Look, I look terrible anyway. So Nishant, if there are questions, you can unmute the folks, or else we can end the session and we can give it to the Master of Ceremonies.
Yeah, sure, Akshay.
All right. I guess there are no questions as of this moment. So Shruti, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster, distinguished
And I hope
Toastmaster.
the session was helpful.
It was a very valuable speech, and we got a lot of key points to remember and work on, and we will include that in our further upcoming Toastmaster sessions. Now moving on to our evaluation session for this meeting, and to conduct the session, I would like to call upon General Evaluator Nishant. Over to you, Nishant.
Thank you, Shruti. Hello, everyone. So let's not waste any time and straight away jump into the evaluation. So it is the last and final segment of today's session. So as a first segment of evaluation, we have evaluation of the prepared speeches. So the first speaker of the day, Evangeline, I would call upon Tarun Jain, the evaluator, to present his evaluation.
Hello everyone, I'm Tarun Jain and I'll be evaluating Evangeline today. The first thing I would like to say is the way you started Evangeline, the way you started the speech, it didn't look like you were a shy person. I saw a happy, confident person, so congratulations to that. The things I liked the most about the speech were the way you divided the phases of your life based on colors. It is a very nice way to keep the audience hooked. I really liked the way you shared the little details about your hostel life, like the way you used to cook different, used to cook the different dishes, and you learned a lot about cooking. Those little things told a lot more about your personality. But according to me, the only one thing you could have changed is to tell more about your interest and passion. You have a very creative way of combining words and easily connect with people, but try to control the speed of delivering the words. So because sometimes people may not be able to catch up with you. You have a very long way to go, and all the best. Thank you. Over to you, Nishant.
Thank you, Tarun, for that meticulous evaluation. So adding to the points that Tarun mentioned, even I would like to say that the flow of the speech was really good. The way you structured the speech, the inclusion of colors representing different stages of your life, they were very nice. And there are a few points that I would like to mention, which you could try in your next speech as a challenge. So you could include some conversations, as you mentioned, your phase of hostel. You could have enacted or represented a conversation you had with your friends that we could all connect to. And maybe you sway a lot during your speech, front and back. So rather than that, you can use your hands to make some gestures, which will give you a better grounding. So a great speech, Evangeline, and thank you, Tarun, for the evaluation. Next, we'll move to the second. Yeah. Next, we'll move to the second evaluation of the day. That is evaluation of the speech by Divya. And as a demo for today's evaluation education session, we'll have Akshay, DTM Akshay Kaware to present his evaluation. Over to you, Akshay.
Thank you, Nishant. Good evening, budding Toastmasters and current guests once again. And very, very good evening actually to Divya. So first and foremost, Divya, I cannot believe that you're actually the silent type. Because the way that you were speaking today, I was actually very surprised when you said that I was very silent initially, because it was more than what, 600, 700 words easily, because you did not even breathe to collect your thoughts, and you didn't take a pause. Like, full gusto, you started and you ended on that note. So very, very surprised with that statement. And I really loved the way that you had constructed the whole speech. It was good. It had a very catchy opening, a bit abrupt conclusion. We'll talk about that later. And a very, very thorough body. We understood pretty much everything about your life, the states that you had moved to, the cities you lived in. I am very jealous because I haven't been to Goa yet, and you've lived there. And then how did you come to MVC and the different things that you like, different things that you do. So a very, very thorough foray into your life, I would say personally. Now, something that I observed in your speech while you were speaking is, I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're a very meticulous person. And I think that's one of your strengths, which came out very, very strongly in the speech. And I would really like to hear more from you actually, because I seem to think that you're very meticulous with the way that you do certain things. So great job done on that. Having said that, I think there is still a couple of things that you can do to improve and maybe get a better speech next time. First thing, like I said, the conclusion was a bit abrupt, I felt, and since it was a part of the objectives, I felt it necessary to mention it. Maybe you could have ended it in a better note, maybe saying, this is who I am. Maybe you could have connected it to the beginning, to the opening, something like that. And the second thing I'd like you to work on is, I think you had your notes towards the bottom right. And because I saw your eyes were constantly flitting there. So my suggestion would be, it's a hack. If you really have to do it in online meetings, you can keep your notes here in the center, so that even if you look down, it doesn't look like you're actually reading notes. So maybe just that hack. In conclusion, a very, very, very strong speech. Loved the speech. It was a very, very thorough, detailed journey into your life. I'm really glad to have witnessed it, and it was a pleasure to evaluate you. Just think about the conclusion and the keeping of the notes part, and I'm sure you'll do a great job as a public speaker in the future. Thank you so much. Back to you, Nishant.
Thank you so much, Akshay. Yeah. I guess being the master of evaluation, you didn't miss any points there. So thank you so much. So let's move on to the reports from our tag team today. Let's have a timer for the day, Aparajita, to present her evaluation report. Aparajita.
Yeah, so after all your speeches, I'm here with evaluation. Speakers Evangeline took 4 minutes 7 seconds. Speaker Divya took 4 minutes 55 seconds. Toastmaster of the day Shruti took 5 minutes 29 seconds. General evaluator Nishant took 4 minutes 15 seconds. Evaluator Tarun took 5 minutes 27 seconds. Evaluator Akshay took 20 minutes 22 seconds. And Toastmaster Apurva, she took 5 minutes 20 seconds. So that was the report. Thank you so much.
That was a brief and helpful report from you, Aparajita. Thank you. And next we have the R counter report for the day. Can we have Etisham presenting the report here, please?
Yeah.
Etisham,
Thank you,
over
Nishant.
to you.
Thank you, Nishant. Before presenting any of the others, a counter report, I would like to project what I felt about myself during my short speaking period. My own self, I had crunched thrice, paused one, and used 2 filler words in the whole process. Now, coming to the person who used the stage at the most, Shruti, you crunched thrice, you repeated 3 words and paused thrice. Nishant, you crunched twice as well. And Aprajita, you, during explanation, you use the words such as so and like a lot. Tarun, you crunch a lot during your whole process, so you might work on that. And Evangeline, she gave an amazing speech and used only 1 repetitive word. Whereas Akshay, during his presentation, which is obvious, he crunched a lot during examples. So over and all, and coming to Divya, sorry, Divya, you paused thrice. You took 3 unnecessary pauses that I felt wasn't needed. And over and all, I felt that all of us need to work on the crunches while giving examples, because while giving examples, we think a lot, and during that time we use the words these kind of words a lot. So I would like all of us to work on that. Thank you, Nishant. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Etisham. Next, we have the grammarian for the day, Michelle, to present her meticulous report for the grammar usages.
Thank you, GE Nishant. Dear friends, it was a pleasure listening to your speeches, and I found some very good language usage. Evangeline, you used the idiom locked on, which was fantastic. And Divya, you used the phrase lo and behold. You also used the idiom never left a stone unturned. I think you used always, but it's actually never. And DTM Akshay, you used the word meticulous. Again, amazing. Meanwhile, I would also like to point out some explicit language that was used. Instead of using I'm not telling, rather it's advised to use I'm not saying. And also I heard a sentence back in 11th only. Ideally, we don't use the word only after that. It's very unnecessary. And coming to the word of the day, odious, I'm amazed. It was used a total of 3 times today. Once by the SAA, Krishna Tej, once by Evangeline, and once by Harsh. It was wonderful to see such good usage of this word, and hopefully you can use it more often in the future. That's all for my report. Back to you, GE Nishant.
Yeah, thank you so much for that wonderful report, Michelle. So now it's time for the general evaluation of the whole session for the day. For that, let me just spin myself. Yes. So the event or the session started right on time, 5:50, 5:51. And the roll call and the audio video check was done on time and meticulously. The guests were greeted during this while they joined the meeting. And to begin with, the Sergeant at Arms Krishna, you were right on time. Checked all the role takers if they were present and test their audio and video. And there is one little suggestion I would like to give is you could bring in some enthusiasm, a bit more of enthusiasm, because you will be the first person that is taking over the stage. And the more energy you vibrate, the better the session is gonna go. So that's a little insight I would like to give you. And next, moving on to presiding officer Apurva, Toastmaster Apurva. Being a perfectly trained Toastmaster is reflecting from her role today. So the way she presented herself, the energy she brings out in her words, and the way she introduced the Toastmaster world to the guest present today And she even acknowledged the fact that the parents are present here. And there are guests who don't know what Toastmasters is at all. So she went right from the basic of the origin of Toastmasters to what it can be, the heights of Toastmasters. So great work, Toastmasters Apurva there. And coming to Toastmasters of the day, Shruti, I would like to congratulate you on selecting the best theme. I would say distraction. It is something everyone can connect to, and great work there. And you brought up little facts about distractions, and you brought up some solutions that people can use to get like reduce the distractions. Like you suggested some apps and you shared your experiences, and this helped us connect with you better. And the way you tried to involve people was really good, and the questions you asked were pretty simple, and I guess the credit goes to the theme again, because people have a lot of common things to share. And the other fact that I really liked was the smile on your face. You radiated the smile, and that energy that you radiate, it beams on everyone, and it lightens the mood of the whole session. And only suggestion I would like to give is don't keep void spaces. Like during the first voting, there was a void space. There was no one talking or nothing. There's a blank space during the session. So try avoiding that, and maybe pace down a little, because you are the one who is controlling the schedule of the whole meeting, and you need to pace down and adjust, accordingly. And you could have distributed the content more evenly. It felt like in the initial or in between, there were very little, contents related to the theme or something. So you could have distributed even better. And my challenge for you during your next Toastmaster of the day would be to bring in humor in your speech. You could be more humorous, and that's the best way to connect with your audience, I would say. So great work, Shruti. Kudos. Next, moving on to the evaluator, Tarun. I would say that you picked up very good points from the speech. Like you mentioned about the way the speaker, brought in the colors, and the way she went through the flow. You mentioned about all those things, and you even picked some points that were areas of improvement as well. So that was a great job, and you had a confidence in your voice, and you're very clear about what the facts you are stating. So great job with that. The only suggestion I would give is have a prepared script. If you're having trouble articulating your thoughts, have a prepared script that you can fill in during the course of the meeting, so that it is easier to build your speech. And coming to distinguished Toastmaster Akshay, I would say there is no little room of any error in his evaluation. And I would like to thank him for such a great educational session he has given us today. I guess the given time of 20 minutes was very less for us to grasp all that he has to share. So thanks a lot for giving us a new perspective on evaluation, and the way you communicate with your audience is very nice, and it's very casual, and people naturally connect to you. And I guess that is the best aspect of your speech. I think that's about it for ATM Akshay. Moving on to the tag team, Timer Aprajita, your report was very concise and very brief, and it contained all the necessary timings that had to be mentioned. Good job with that. You could have, you missed a point during your introduction of your role, that participants have to pin your video, because I guess many participants were struggling with the time, keeping track of time. So in the next time when you take up a role, don't forget to mention it. And you could even pace down a little when you're talking so that it is very clear, because you had plenty of time to explain your role. So make use of that time, I would say. And rest everything was pretty good. Congratulations with that. And coming to the R counter of the day, Etasham, the most calm and composed evaluator I've seen in a while. And he explained his role very well. He mentioned the significance of the words, why R counter is important, and all the aspects of a R counter was mentioned pretty clearly. And I was very surprised to see he evaluate himself, and that is not very common to see around. So congratulations, Etasham, with that. And the only suggestion is, when you mention the counts, be more precise. Like there were a lot of people who used R's and ums. So maybe make a tally of it and keep a count and present it during your evaluations. Because I myself use a lot of crunch words like R's and ums. So it is very easy, very helpful to keep track. Like you can compare your counts from the previous meeting and the present meeting, and accordingly, have a conscious count of it. So I guess that pretty much sums up your evaluation there. And Michelle, the grammarian for the day, you explained the word of the day pretty well. But the only aspect that was missing was you could have mentioned the importance of a grammarian, what role you play, like what is the significance of your role in the meeting. That could have been explained a bit better. And even you could have chosen a bit easier word that could have been easily included in the speech, that could relate to the the theme better. Your report was very concise and very meticulous. Congratulations on that, and great work. With that, I would like to conclude my evaluation today. I had a pretty meticulous evaluation today, but I don't know if I've missed some points. Great work, everyone. Back to you, Shruti.
Thank you, General Evaluator Nishant. That was a pretty much good evaluation. And yeah, so there will be a voting session now for the best role takers. So the link will be shared in the chat box. Please do cast your votes. So I would like to talk about distraction, a little bit more of it. We measure our calories, our weight, our time, but how many of us actually consider measuring our capacities? We should start observing and indulging in our behavior more. So I would like all of you to raise your hand and look at your fingers and just think of these 5 fingers play a very important role in actually building up your behavior and not getting much distracted on it. So here we go. Our little finger, pinky finger, it is too tiny, but this is the opportunity finger. The opportunities are too small and we have to choose wisely when we're choosing it. So that's the importance of the pinky finger. And next comes the ring finger. We always have a jewelry on it and it looks beautiful though. So sorry, I just got carried away by it. So our ring finger is our distraction finger. So be very careful of it and don't get distracted or carried away by any other things. And our middle finger. We should learn how to say no to things that are not serving us anymore in our life. And please do say no to things that are not serving you. Yes, that is our middle finger. And next, we come to our index finger, which is a pointer. And by drawing observation to all the new spaces we have created, a very important finger, we can measure our capacities and abilities in this finger. So yeah. And next, finally, our thumb finger, which is our commitment and saying yes to all the possible capacities we have in ourselves and working on it. And that's it for the day. That's it about the topic, distraction. And I would hand over this meeting to the presiding officer, Apurva. So over to you, Apurva.
Thank you so much, Shruti. Thanks a lot, all of you who were a great and give feedback of today's meeting. How did you feel? Which part did you like the most? And what do you think we all as your club can contribute to make it more interesting? Come on, guys, give your feedback and unmute and give feedback. Would be great to talk to all of you. No one?
Yes, I'd like to
Krishna.
go. Yeah.
Go
so
ahead.
I'm not going to say if anything should be better, but I really found Akshay's speech very enlightening. It did teach me a lot of things. For most of the part, I always thought of evaluation as the day my report card comes and it's just going to be a sad thing. But okay, sorry, that's my dog. Yeah, but recently from the past few meetings that I've been in Toastmaster, I've noticed that feedback, when you take it in with a general mindset and try to actually change, it's a lot helpful, and you actually notice the difference the next time. You notice the difference next time, and people actually notice that you've changed. They acknowledge that you've changed, and it gives everyone a feeling of satisfaction. Like, oh yes, last time I didn't do this, but this time I could do it. So if there is anything else, like, then you start having an open mind towards judgment. Yeah, it really helps you become better. So I found that nice.
Actually, adding to your point, Krishna Tej, so I am someone who has struggled with time in every speech. Okay. I do not usually write a script and mug it up because I forget half of it. So I think note down points and I speak. But what happens in this period is I always go over time. And today I stuck to my time, and that's why I was talking to Aparajita just before this. I finished my speech in, what was she said? 18 minutes, 26 seconds. So 20 minutes was what was given to me. I was so happy that finally I managed to stick to time. So that's what feedback rather enables you to do. It helps you to sort of keep to your thing, and then next time when you do it, feel very happy. So I completely agree with you.
Anyone else who wants to express anything? How was today's meeting? How did they feel? Or has anyone joined for the first time today? Prateek is talking by chance.
Can you hear me?
Okay, hi Prateek. Not sure if you are already talking. I think we can't hear you still.
Is it better now?
It's better, yeah. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so no feedback as such. I mean, no areas of improvement from my side, but and I was not there throughout the meeting. I'm traveling. But a big shout out to all the MVZ students, because their energy level and their enthusiasm is, I mean, next to none. It's just fourth meeting and I'm seeing so much vigor in each one of them. So I really wish all the best to all the students here. And I want you all to continue with this, because I wish I had an opportunity back in my college as to have a Toastmaster platform. But again, since you guys have it already, so make the most out of it, and yeah, go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prateek. Okay, do we have the results ready? Should I hand it over to you, Krishna?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, all of you. Today, your usual presiding officer, Manvi, couldn't make it. So I was the presiding officer. And thank you so much, all of you, for this opportunity. It was so great to be part of a young crowd. Offline, Akshay and I, we were chatting that we were saying we feel so old amongst you. But okay, I think we can take it the reverse way. We feel so young with all of you. That's how I want to take it. And over to you, Krishna, to announce the results, please.
Yes, thank you. So before I announce the results, I just want to say that while I do announce the results, I would like everyone to give a thumbs up, or at least in the camera, if you would like to show it in the camera, do show thumbs up and cheer for everyone. Okay, starting off with the best evaluator, it is none other than designated Toastmaster Akshay. So kudos to you, Akshay, you did a fantastic job. Then for the best tag team member, it was a close call, but in the end, Michelle, the grammarian Michelle, had won the role of the best acting member. So congratulations, Michelle, that was amazing. And for the best role taker, it was general evaluator Nishant. Again, Nishant, you did an amazing job. Your speech was, your entire thing was amazing. So that's the results of this. And I would also like a round of applause to everyone who participated in this role for all their roles. Even if they didn't win, they did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Krishna. And whenever the next meeting is planned, and do all of you do take assigned or volunteer yourself. Don't worry, you all would get mentored properly, but please ensure you are volunteering. How you do it is a different part. All of us have started, and that's the first step. That itself is a big step. How it goes, please don't worry about it. Don't worry about how would that be on that day of meeting. You just go and volunteer for these roles. All right, with that, I take leave, all of you. Thanks a lot for joining, and do join next meetings as well. Kudos to all the role takers today. Again, thank you, DTM Akshay, for the wonderful session. All of you, take care, stay healthy, and see you next week. Bye. I declare the meeting closed.
Just a moment
Thank you so
before we
much.
close the
Bye-bye.
meeting.
Have a nice day.
Let's have a group photo, shall we?
Okay, sure, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody, please turn on your camera so we can have a group picture. Yeah, ready? Yeah. One more. Just a moment. One more. Yep. Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice Sunday night.
Bye.
Tomorrow is the
Yes.
bad day, Monday morning.
Yes. Okay, bye.
All right.
Bye.